Hello, everybody. This is Jared, also known as Phoenix King 1. Today's a little bit of a weirder episode. We have one of mine and Jesse's friends, Schmidt, on the show. There's Schmitty. He just ran to go grab some water. Jesse's not here. He was having some stuff going on, and I was like, alright, well, I'll just record an episode today. But, he'll be missed. And we have our good friend Schmidt just walked in. Alright, how you doing, Schmitty?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm great.
All right,
Thank you for being on.
Well, thanks for having me.
Let's talk about a lot of fun stuff, and let's not get
fun
weird,
shit.
Schmidt.
Yeah, let's. I like getting weird though. That's
I
what
do
I'm
too.
good at. Making things weird, uncomfortable.
That's
Specialty.
it's a Schmidt specialty.
Yeah.
You're also a good kind of running joke for Mark.
Oh yeah. That's pretty much how it's been like high school. It was just like freshman year, like everyone decided, you know what? Let's just fuck with this kid for the next 4 years, and that's how it was. Like I'd walk into a new class, never had this teacher before, don't know who they are, and be like, "Hey, Schmitty," and I'll just be like, "What the fuck? How do you know who I am?"
And teachers talk.
Yeah.
And teachers talk real well.
Yeah, I know. It's like, no, this was like some new teacher that she had just started at that school.
Oh.
And so
There's
it
a
was
Steven Schmidt memo going out somewhere where it's like, hey, here's the bullet points you need to know about this kid. Good God, Schmitty.
He's fat, he's lazy, he sleeps, his name's Schmitty, and he doesn't give two shits what anyone thinks.
Oh,
It was
Lord.
it was pretty much a lot of like how Mark does, like, see, Schmidt, this is why you're failing the class. And at the end of the semester or the year, it's just like, even though I slept, didn't do shit, they're like, you know what? I like you too much. You get an A.
I don't think it's that. I think it's that, oh my God.
Yeah, it's probably they just don't want me to come back. Yeah, it's probably what it is. They're just like, they told me that they like me, but it probably, they just didn't want me again. They're like, there's too much paperwork for you to come back. You're moving on. You're graduating, so
you're not world ready, but I mean,
no.
The world's not ready for you, buddy.
No. Yeah.
Speaking of weird things, me and Schmitty were in our Professor Mark's room. Another plug for that great program, ETMX, Emerging Technologies, here at the Great Athens Tech, where we record the show.
Hell yeah.
But we were reading Shia LaBeouf in our great state of Georgia got arrested again.
Yeah, over in Savannah. He was
he's
like drunk again as usual, probably hocked up on some drugs, just verbally abusing police officers.
They called him dumb fuck.
Dumb fuck.
Oh my God. I was telling good old Steven about yeah, you can go let him in.
Alright.
But I was telling Schmitty here about the fact that I was telling Schmidt about the fact that like the election, like right after the election ended, Shia LaBeouf went on and said, "Hey, I'm gonna start 4 years of protest." And he's like, "Hey, I'm going to do 4 years of protest against Donald Trump." And he starts this live stream. He sets up like this phone pole basically, puts a camera on it. And he's like, "I'm gonna stand here, and it's gonna be 4 years of protest, baby, all 4 years." And of course, the people from the internet catch wind of this, and they're gonna do what the internet does best. They're gonna mess with him. Everybody was like screaming, "Donald Trump, Donald Trump," and just like all this funny stuff. Whether you like Trump or not, it was pretty fun to watch Shia get so mad, and he would like verbally get in people's face and yell at them. And then when he realized, okay, this isn't such a great idea, I'm going to take an anti-Trump flag and I'm going to put it out in like the hills of Tennessee. I think it was Tennessee. And of course, 4chan, the ever so great website it is, catches wind of this. And they're watching the live stream. And they're driving through the hills of Tennessee, honking their horns. And eventually, they pinpoint exactly where it is using his live stream. And what do? They take down his flag and they put up a Make America Great Again hat. And just the reaction online, everyone's like, I get mad.
Just lose their shit.
They lost their minds. It was so funny. Whether you like Trump or not, I'm a huge comedy fan, and that was hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but I mean, that just sounds funny. Like, that sounds like something I would do, to be honest, like, piss people off.
Yeah, it's a very Schmidt move. I thought you would like it.
I need to get a PA system on my car like a cop has, so that if I see a protest, whether it's a protest that I would actually be for or not, just to fuck with them, drive by and be like, "Hey, fuck faces,
Yeah.
how's that protest going over there?"
Schmidt's a very like anarchist comedian. If he were to be a comedian, like I love some of the conversations we have. I've legitimately thought at some points, oh my god, is he like serious about this? And I've realized that like most of the time you're not. You're just saying it to
No.
get a reaction,
Yeah.
which I'm fine with. But good God, some
Although
of the stuff that comes out of your mouth.
There have been times I've been pretty dead serious. Like one time at work, we had a shipment of like 790 pencils to work because a customer, like after they had already sent it out, decided that they wanted to cancel it. And I was like, "Hey, Mark, if I sell you these pencils and you got to buy all of them for like 30 cents a piece, would you buy them?" He's like, "How many?" I'm like, "Almost 800." He just looks at me and he's like, "Are you fucking stupid or something?"
How did that end up? Because I remember at the end of the semester you guys talking about that.
That was actually a couple months ago.
Did he ever buy them?
No, they never even showed up either.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I know. And you know,
Schmidt-
all my other coworkers, they just kind of like forgot about it. But I'm still wondering, man, when is this palette going to show up? Because I mean,
It's gonna come out of nowhere one day.
it's just going to come out of nowhere.
It'll be like 10 years down the road. Schmidt has left this particular job, and he is out doing the Schmidt thing that he is gonna do.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna come up, and they're gonna be like, "What the hell?" And somebody's gonna call you, and you're like, "Oh, the pencils, they finally arrived."
I'll just be right there. It's like I'll just sense it. It just shows up. I'll just
They'll be
wherever I am, I'll just look up and I'll be like, they've arrived.
It'll be like Pulp Fiction. You'll go back and like you'll open up the case and the gold light will shine, and everyone's like, "What is it? What is it? Is it gold? Is it riches?" Nope, it's just the pencil Schmidt spent a decade worrying about.
So like every day, I'll just wake up, be like, man, when are they going to arrive?
Where are these pencils?
See, it's like
I need these pencils.
we get a delivery truck every day of the week except on Tuesday, and they're going to show up on a Tuesday. It's just going to be out of nowhere. Just like, how the fuck did they get here? It's just, I don't know. But whenever they do show up, I'm taking them. I'm gonna be like, Mark, they finally arrived. You won't believe it. It's here. Your pencils, Mark. Take them.
It's gonna have like all of them wrapped up in one giant rubber band.
I'm gonna go home and hand grave every single one of them with Mark's name on it.
Okay, that is like I've
See, I don't
noticed.
know if that would be kiss ass or just creepy.
It's creepy when it comes from you. If it comes from Logan, it's perfectly fine.
I mean, just about anything from Logan it would be fine. Like that dream he had. It was oh my god. He was telling me about a dream, and he was like, he was at some playing card shop in the mall, and Mark was there. He's like, "Hey, Mark, how's it going?" And he's like, "Oh, you know, just wrangling all my Schmitties." And he turns and looks at everyone in the mall. Just turned into me, just doing that autistic screeching meme, where I'm just like, "Eee!"
Oh
And
god.
and then I went home and I had a nightmare about that as well.
Yeah, Logan had ironically the same nightmare.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. So Logan, what's on your mind? That's a lot. All right. Well, Schmidt, since you're on the episode, and I told you this wasn't gonna happen, I was like, I'm never letting you on. But all it took was 4 episodes. We're on our 5th, and I broke down. I'll tell you why.
He was desperate for someone.
I needed someone.
He didn't want to talk for an hour on his own.
Yeah. So instead, I settled for like 20 to 30 minutes talking with you. I like you. Don't get me wrong. Like when I make these jokes, I do it from a place of love with Schmidt. Schmidt's a good guy, but some of the stuff he says,
Yes, it
like, it's hilarious. You can sit back, and when I laugh from a place of both like really and like oh shit.
Like you would actually say something like that?
Yeah, but Schmitty would. Schmitty's a one of a kind species. He's his own species. He's not human. He's not alien. He's like a hybrid.
So I'm like a mix of both.
Yeah.
Like an Area 51 project.
Yeah. Speaking of things that come from Area 51, let's talk about that Dodge Demon.
Oh hell yeah, the new demon.
Schmitty's a huge car junkie.
Hell yeah.
This thing That thing looks nice.
It does. It looks amazing. I mean, one like 1,000 horsepower street car. I mean, it's the starting price of it is like 85 grand or something like that. I mean, if you were to build your own car, I mean, just the motor alone would cost you a more like almost 90 grand for 1,000 horsepower, and then you got the whole car, roll cage, all the suspension. So I mean, the fact that they can sell a daily streetable car with 1,000 horsepower for like 85 grand is pretty fucking amazing.
Well, that's just like stock. If they were to take that, like, I would love to see someone who has the money and the time to completely like build upon the stock setup.
Yeah.
That would be an animal car.
Bigger supercharger, bigger turbo, more power. I mean, that would be cool. But I mean, at that point, why not just start from scratch? Like, get a motor.
Well, here's the thing,
And just-
Schmidt. There are interesting people out there that want to just make something destructive.
That is true. That is true. You
Like-
know, everyone does their own things, and like a lot of people are always like, especially when it comes to old classic vintage cars, people are like, "Oh, you need to keep them original." It's like bullshit. Everyone does that. Like, you gotta do something fun.
Yeah, like, he brings it up because yesterday we were talking about this, and my dream car is a cherry red with black racing stripes, 69 Dodge Charger. And if I had the money, I would buy that car and completely deck it out, modernize everything, put a new speaker system, new transmission, brand new engine, supercharge it.
So, like, essentially, just put like the heart of a Hellcat in the classic Charger.
Yes,
Dude, that would
A
be that would
Hellcat
actually pretty cool.
with the chassis of a 69.
That
Good
that
God.
would be cool.
The Hellcat's amazing. Oh my God, I love it. I'll be honest with you. Like, I've heard a bunch of my car. Like, I know a couple people that are really into cars, and I don't like the new Camaro body style. I
Yeah.
love it. It's just I like it because they figured out a way to kind of hybrid the classic style that I like with
Yeah.
the modern one.
Yeah. I personally, my favorite Camaro is the like the early '70s Camaros.
68's mine.
68. Yeah, I kind of like the early '70s, like the early to mid '70s. How it's got like that kind of like split bumper style.
Yeah.
That like I always dreamed of having one of those, probably because my neighbor used to have one, and it just sat in his yard rotting away. It had a 4-speed in it. I mean, I don't know if it ran because it was just sitting there, and I was like, I mean, we didn't really like this particular neighbor. I mean, he was just a dumb fuck. But I was like, I'm gonna get that car one day. I'm gonna go buy it from him, and one day, just up and left. We went like one night they were there, the next morning they were gone. House was empty. They just left town in the middle of the night. It was weird as fuck, and I was like, damn. And I could never find a Camaro like that for a decent price.
No, I'm sure he would be like, oh, Schmidt, I'll triple charge you.
Yeah.
No, man. I was driving to school today, and I saw one of those Toyota FJ Cruisers, like Toyota's answer to the Land Rover,
Oh yeah.
and oh my God, I love those things.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I want one so bad.
Yeah. Those things are pretty cool. Like especially the older ones,
Yeah,
like the real old ones. Those are nice. They kind of look like a Jeep and a like Land Rover.
yeah, it's like their love child. That's what I like about it. It's
Bastard
like
love child.
Toyota, like they get a bad rap from some people, but Toyota makes a good car.
Yeah, they do.
I like Japanese cars. Now, don't get me wrong. When it comes to like muscle and strength cars, I'm American all the way.
Yeah.
Give me a Dodge. I'm not a big Mustang guy. I like the early ones, but I'll tell you what ruined Mustang for me.
the
year-
constant crashing into crowds.
That and the year 2000 to 2006. That body style was atrocious. Little Jared was like, "Oh man, that's so cool." And when I got older and started like getting more into cars, now granted, I know for a fact I don't know as much as you do. I know enough to make sound decisions on cars,
Right.
but good God, they are ugly.
Wasn't that the last year range of the cars before they went back to like that classic style of like the round headlights with the fog lights in the grill?
I think so.
I like they started that in like the early '80s with the Fox bodies. How they kind of went to more like a square headlight, and they got away from like the three like tail light bars on each side, and they like turned it into a hatchback. Like now,
Yeah, that.
yeah, oh yeah, that one. I mean the hatchback. I mean I'm not. I really don't care. I think it's cool a hatchback, but like when I don't know. It's like for me like the Mustang.
It's just the body style
It
for
is
me.
like the older Mustangs. I don't know. It's just something to have to do where it's got like
The '70s
four
Mustangs
round.
were amazing.
Yeah, I
Like they from the year 1970 to '79. Those
yeah,
Mustangs were just like my favorite.
yeah. I'm trying to remember. There was a what was it? The King Cobra, I think it was like in the early '70s.
I know the one you're talking
It
about. Let me
was
see if
it
I can
was
pull it
the
up.
one that everyone hated so much at the time because it was like had this big gas guzzling engine in it, like worse gas mileage than a truck, and it had like T tops on it. And the front end just sat way too high. I think it's the King Cobra.
Is it that one right there?
Yeah, yeah, that one. Yeah, I know. They tried to go for like that Trans Am style with the T tops. I don't know. It just couldn't pull it
You,
off.
you can't really beat the classic style of Trans Am if it
No.
looks clean. There's a reason why they made a movie all about the Trans Am called Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
the
god.
Trans Am. Yeah, actually, going back to the Charger, the '69 Charger. The Dukes of Hazzard car.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the Smoking the Bandit movie, but the two guys that played Bo and Luke Duke wouldn't have gotten their own show because that's pretty much where it started. They
Yeah.
were actually extras in the Smoking the Bandit movie.
Really?
Yeah,
I had no
yeah,
idea.
I had no idea actually, and I mean I was talking to my dad the other day about it, and he was like, yeah, they were extras in the movie, and then they're like, you know what, this is kind of cool. Why don't we go get our own TV show? And they did.
I mean, with all the car guys that I know that like the muscle cars, Smoking the Bandit is one of like the like top tier car movies.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I hate T-top Trans Ams. I don't know why the body style for some reason has always been kind of off-putting to me, but hot damn, do I love that car.
Yeah.
That the Firebird on there, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Just the big Firebird emblem on the hood. That was
I think it's Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds makes
yeah, Burt
anything
Reynolds.
cool.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds, man. I loved
Yeah.
him when he was an Archer. That was really good for me.
Yeah. Yeah, Smoking Man. Wasn't there like 3 movies?
Yes, the
Something?
third
Yeah.
one was just.
I've
They
only
should have stopped at 2.
yeah, I've only seen the first 2, and that was like God, 12 years ago. So it's been a long ass time. I don't remember much, but
I was like 5 the first time I watched Smokey and the Bandit and remember it. I know I watched it before because like growing up I didn't have like satellite TV and or cable,
yeah.
so my mom would buy like old TV shows she had. They didn't want to pay for it and they were like, I don't want to expose my children to that. Now, granted, like, and I would see all of the shows from the early 2000s when I was growing up because I'd go to my grandparents' house. They had DirecTV.
Yeah.
I'd watch like Kids Next Door, Dexter, all that fun stuff.
Oh, dude, I feel like a kid again now.
Dude,
About
we'll talk about that in a second. But so she bought me, because I saw the first one and I loved it, she bought me the DVD set of all 3 at Cracker Barrel. And I would I'd like watch them and immediately turn on like Elvis back in the day. I love music too. But, dude, Dexter, man, that was my
Yeah.
stuff.
dude.
That was back when, like, I'm going to sound like really old with this statement. That was back when cartoons were good.
Yeah.
Didn't have none of this, like,
Yeah, nowadays cartoons, it's all about whoever can make the most fart jokes.
exactly,
And
or
it
like
appeals
overtly
to little kids nowadays.
there's like some overtly like dirty jokes in them, and I look for that. That's funny,
Yeah.
and I'll admit, Adventure Time not my favorite show, but it's good, well written.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what show like ruined Cartoon Network for me. That was the Misadventures of Flapjack.
I kind of like that one.
That show fucked me up, dude.
I kind of like that though.
I would understand, and my buddies agree. They were like, it was weird, but it was good.
Yeah, I mean,
was
it
like-
had
No,
weird
it was
twist to it.
that mayor. That's what did it. Everything else I could handle. That mayor always the perpetual like grin of just, ugh, no, that's not me. I loved Chowder. Chowder was fun, and then you have
Chowder.
the one episode where Schnitzel actually talks English,
Oh my god.
and then he goes back.
I
Good
saw
point.
that and I lost my fucking shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
This is amazing.
and I had just had some dental surgery done, so I was still kind of out of it. And I saw that I'm like, am I hallucinating? I'm like, holy shit, what the hell's going on here? And
You
I just
were.
fucking lost it.
I'll tell you what. I want just give me one more season of Teen Titans, and I'm good.
Yeah, the original one.
That I mean, because they left that so open ended.
Yeah, I never actually really saw the ending of it.
There was none. The last episode is
Well,
where
that's what I was talking about, like the
like
last few episodes.
the last few episodes were about Tara. Like the last, I think it was the third season or so. It was focused on Beast Boy trying to like recapture Tara, and it was like right when the good stuff was starting. Like they were hitting Trigon. You know, they were getting into like the deep Teen Titans stuff. Like comics wise, I was having a heyday with this. And then they get to like Tara, she's lost her memory, and then boom, it ends. Beast Boy, like she runs off, and they leave it like an open-ended thing.
As if they're just going to continue it.
Yeah, and it never comes.
Damn.
Then they give me this like after that they
This
did
false
make
sense of security, false sense of hope.
yeah, and then they made the Teen Titans movie after that, I believe. But still, my heart was broken. I wanted to see Beast Boy and Tara, or like finally do like the Beast Boy and Raven thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to watch that, and then like they tried to like do remakes of like a
Teen
lot of
Titans
old
2
shows.
was
Like
just
I tried
awful.
watching Teen Titans Go. Like
I
I
was
wasn't into it. I tried to give it a chance. I watched the first season, and I was like, after that, I'm like,
I watched the first 3
I
episodes,
just
and I
can't
was
do
like,
it.
I knew in the first one, I was like, they're not going to
Uh,
win me over with this.
No.
They're, and I understand from a business standpoint, it works. They can sell toys. That's a huge revenue.
Yeah, that's what it is nowadays. Cartoons is all about
Well,
art
that's the way it
jokes
was
and
with them.
selling toys.
That's why they canceled Justice League. Well, Justice League canceled for a number of reasons. That's one of the reasons Teen Titans was taken off air, was because they couldn't market the toys to kids and to boys and girls.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a horrible, horrible system. But I mean, I enjoyed it. And then you had Darkwing Duck back when Toon Disney was a thing. That was fun. Did you ever watch that?
Sounds familiar, like vaguely familiar.
It was like a duck in a purple jacket, had like a mask and a cape.
Yeah, it sounds. I don't remember it really.
I would watch like all of the cartoons. Like I would go from watching
Yeah, that's
like Toon Disney, like watching Gargoyles and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and then I would go to Kids Next Door was one of my, and still is one of my favorite cartoons. Then you had was it Rocket Power on
Rocket Power.
You know what? And for some
Yeah, that
reason,
one.
Ren and Stimpy missed me. For some reason, I never really got into Ren and Stimpy.
I never really watched it actually. To be honest, I never watched it.
It was good. And I have a lot of friends that like Ren and Stimpy, and they're like, "What? You watched all this other stuff, but you didn't watch Ren and Stimpy?" I was like, "Nope."
Oh, speaking of old cartoons, remember Hey Arnold?
Yeah, and they're getting a remake, and it's probably gonna suck.
They're making a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I also heard they were gonna reboot. I wouldn't quote me on that, 'cause I could be wrong.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I didn't hear anything about a reboot TV show, but I did hear about the movie.
I miss Doug. That was a good show
Yeah, there was a lot of good shows.
back in our day.
Yeah,
when
back in our day of like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
But
like back when Clinton was president. That was a fun presidency.
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I have sexual relations with that woman.
Yeah, jokes on Hillary. If she won, she would have had the same desk Monica was under.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But yeah,
but I mean, I'm probably still gonna go see the new Hey Arnold movie.
oh God,
This
yes,
year.
I totally will. Hey Arnold was one of my favorite shows. Just go ahead and get past all the crap. Just let Helga and Arnold get together. She hits puberty, stops looking like a caveman. He gets that corrective surgery to get rid of that.
Fucking football
Okay,
head.
so me and
He's like Stewie in a few years. As Stewie grows
I was
up.
just about to say that. I don't know exactly who it was. I can't remember. I think it was me and Jesse, though I may be wrong about this. It was me and somebody. It was a few people, and we had theorized that Hey Arnold is Stewie's teenage years. He loses, or because Peter and Lois are horrible parents, they
Yeah.
lose Arnold, so Arnold has to go live with the grandfather. Is raised in Brooklyn, and then you see adult Stewie, who's not an a-hole, because he lived with there. So that was like our whole thing. It was like, we theorized that
Yeah.
Hey Arnold is actually Stewie's life story.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. I mean, they both have like football heads.
Yeah, Stewie, good God, he's fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, how many shows do you know that have like a 2-year-old child walking around with a gun stealing cars?
No, not a lot.
Exactly.
That's the
That's why
thing.
it's funny.
Family Guy in its like prime, which I would say is like from '07 to about 2012. Like Seth MacFarlane had a lot of good years with that show. It's gone downhill because it's become very repetitive. I haven't watched it in recent. I haven't
Yeah,
watched it
same.
since about 2015. But from everything I've seen, like in the 2015 thing, it was kind of losing its steam. But then again, like look at The Simpsons. It's been on for like ever. The Simpsons is going to be the only show that never ends. And you know what? We'll continue more of this on another episode. But we're going to go ahead and head out. Schmidt's got to go to work and do his job.
Yeah, I got bills to pay,
All right. Well, it was good talking to you, Schmidt.
All right, it was good talking to you.
And hope you guys